I see green. I see no issues with the stream, so let's do it. Another tier list, another day, another stream, another edition of Ben sharing his opinions on the internet. His completely correct opinions that are not inaccurate at all. So, this fucking crest, man. I can't get it to look good on me on the webcam, but there it is. I'm representing in some form. Anyway, so not too long ago, this is mainly for the YouTube channel, I did a tier list of adventure episodes, Digimon Adventure episodes. My schedule is getting a little bit more busier, so hopefully I can do some more things for this channel, but for now we're going to do some other tier lists and more light stuff that requires less effort and editing on my end. So here we go, this is going to be Adventure 2 tier listing. I'm not as attached to Adventure 2 as I am to Adventure 1, and like last time I've got the website on, the wiki on standby to remind me of some of the episodes, because some of the episodes in Adventure 2 do kind of mesh in together. I don't remember every episode like the back of my hand. Adventure 1, I think I messed up with like one episode where I couldn't remember what it was about. But yeah, let's just dive. Enter Flamedramon. A solid, great start to the series in my opinion. I'm more than happy to start off strong and put it in S tier. I think this is a very good start of the episode to establish Adventure 2, how much time has passed since Adventure 1, where our characters are at the moment, establishing the Digimon Emperor, and all that good stuff. So, this freaking crest is going to be the death of me. I'm just going to do that, and whatever happens, happens now. I need to get a proper one, like a one that's on a chain, that has like all the other crests as well. I've got something like that, but it's really small, and I want it to be color themed. I want the crests to actually be the same colors as they are in the show. Anyway, episode 2, Digidestined complete. I would say this isn't as good as episode 1, so we're going to put it in A tier, but again, still a solid start for Adventure 2's plot, establishing our characters, establishing what the status quo is for both new and old characters, and just what the situation is dealing with the Digimon Emperor. And same goes for a new Digitude. I'll put that one in A tier as well. Again, just following off the beats from these two episodes. It's our first episode that focuses on the O2 gang. These two episodes we had characters like Tai or Izzy or Sora helping out. This is the first episode where we have it's just the O2 gang, so that's pretty cool. And Patamon and Gatomon can armor Digivolve too. Sweet. Iron Vegemon. It's the episode with Matt's in it. I like Matt. I like Gabumon. Gabumon's great. We'll give it another A tier. I think so. Yeah, keep it an A. Give it an A. I think we have some good. There's some good stuff in this episode. Old Reliable. I'm tempted to give this one an S. Good old Joe. Good old reliable Joe. You can't go wrong with Joe, and Gomamon for that matter. It has one of my favourite moments from Ken and Wormmon as well. When the Spire, I'm talking specifically the dub here, I don't know how it's said in the Japanese version, but when the Spire falls in this episode, Joe's like, they did it, now you can Digivolve. And then Ken's like, what? And then Wormmon just repeats what Joe says in like a really funny tone of voice, and then Ken's just, he's just so pissed off. It's pretty funny. So yeah. What's this? Family Picnic. Oh, this is our episode where Mimi returns. So this is basically how it was, wasn't it, for Adventure 2? We establish our new characters, but we remind the audience of the OG team. I don't think this one's as strong though. I'm gonna put this one in B. I'm gonna put it in a B. I don't really like the Roach brothers, Roachmon, whatever. What are they called? The Bugs, whatever. And I just don't think this episode is as strong as these ones with returning characters. Guardian Angel. Yeah, I remember that episode. I remember it so well. I'm gonna look at the wiki. Oh my goodness, how could I forget this one? This one's really good. I like this one. I forgot one of my favourite episodes of this show. Man. Well, I'm putting it in S. I really like this episode a lot. I can't believe I forgot it. I put this freaking tier list together. You'd think I would be able to know from the images here, but I just... I'm not even drunk right now. But focusing on the actual topic here. This is a really good episode. I like this episode a lot. I don't have much else to say about it though. There's some great stuff with Kari and Gatomon in my opinion. We get the return of Andromon. One of my complaints about Adventure 2 is some characters from Adventure 1 are just MIA. Leomon, Ogremon, I'm looking right at you guys. But it was nice to have at least one episode where Andromon returned. That was good. We got the Andromon used like the image from Adventure 1 to like remember Kari and Tai and what have you. That was cool. We had some funny stuff with Davis and TK in this episode as well. So again, overall, just great, great episode. Ken's Secret, is that the one where it's nice friends you got there, Davis? I think it is. Yes, it is. Nice friends you got there, Davis. I think for that alone, that should be an S tier. Joking aside, I do generally think this is another good episode. Ken's secret is revealed. The gang find out he's the Digimon Emperor this whole time. Speaking of Ken, we learn more about him, the way he is, and what he's like in the real world. And yeah, I would say this is where things really start to kick off for Adventure 2's plot, like story arc wise. Like this is the beginning of like the next arc, I would say. The kids find out who the Digimon Emperor is in the real world, and he's a new level of threat because he's not constantly going back and forth like they are now. He's just gonna say fuck it and go into the digital world and stay there. Now we have these 3 episodes. I kind of consider it a trilogy. The Emperor's New Home, so following up from last episode, S tier by the way. Ken has decided to stay in the digital world. The gang has gone to the digital world. Standard stuff, except for when Agumon gets captured. He's turned into Skull Greymon, the poor guy. Skull Greymon goes on a rampage like he did in Adventure 1. This episode's great, and probably one of the darkest episodes in the show too. Just, I mean, it ends on the villain basically winning. Skull Greymon definitely fucked up Ken's plan, but the episode ends with Ken still having Agumon as his captive prisoner, what have you. So, yeah, that was a loss for the Digidestined. The captive Digimon, again, another good one. I don't know if I want to put this one in S tier. I think I'll just put this one in A tier. I don't think it's as good as this one, but it's still, I mean, good. Hence why it's in A tier. Following up from last episode, we have Tai being concerned for Agumon. I believe this was the episode where TK and Davis had their fight as well. Was it this episode? I think it was. Or was it the start of this episode? I don't remember. Either way, the scene where TK and Davis have a similar fight that Tai and Matt used to have in Adventure 1, I really enjoy. Wish we got to see more of that stuff, to be honest, with TK especially, but I've complained about that before. And I'll probably complain about that again in the future. Storm of Friendship. So we've got not Skull Greymon, Metal Greymon now. Ken has made the Dark Spiral, a more powerful version of the Dark Ring. I'll give it an A. We get Ragemon. Ragemon's pretty cool. We get introduced to a new batch of armored Digi-Eggs that the gang needs to find. And yeah, I've always found it strange that Ken never showed any interest in trying to get his hand on the armored Digi-Eggs. I know realistically he probably wouldn't have been able to grab them, but I find it weird that he never even tried to find a workaround to harness the power of the armored Digi-Eggs before the Digidestined were able to get their hands on them. I don't know. Just putting it out there. The good, the bad, the Digi. That's I was about to check the wiki to remind myself what episode this one was, but then I saw what the next episode was, and that made me remembered. So the good, the bad, the Digi. I don't like this one. There's some funny moments in there, But the main reason why I don't like it, and I always had this problem even when I was younger, TK and Kari were benched for the whole episode, and the reason for them being benched, I hate it. I hate it. TK slept in, Kari went out for a walk on the beach. Great. Now, this is what I would have done in hindsight, and I know this is kind of shipping territory. This is C tier. More on this episode in a moment. S tier, by the way, on its own. In my opinion, if I had the ability to rewrite this story, at least with these 2 episodes, what I would have done is that I would have introduced the whole thing about Kari's dreams and the Dark Ocean as like a prologue thing in this episode. So the idea is that Kari is already acting a bit shaken. She's met up with TK. TK can tell something's wrong with her. Now, obviously, we don't get the full explanation until we get to this episode on what exactly was going on with Kari. But in this episode, the seeds are planted, basically, right? And then, if we still had to write out the story, that's great. We can just say that TK decides to take Kari out. This is where it goes into kind of shipping territory, where the 2 of them go out just together, with Patamon, with Gatomon, and no one else, to basically try and give Kari just a break. Because my idea is that TK would maybe think that it might be because of all the shenanigans going on in the digital world that is affecting Kari right now. So let's take a break. Let's have just a peaceful time, relaxing, chilling, without anyone else. That's what I would have done. I never liked how this episode TK was just asleep and Kari just went to the beach. And the guys didn't even try contacting them and what have you. So yeah, but back to this one. His master's voice. Yeah, good episode. One of the most unique episodes in Digimon Adventure. We get introduced to the Dark Ocean. It's weird, ain't it? The Dark Ocean is kind of significant and non-significant at the same time. It's significant because it's like an introduction to a new world. It's connected to the digital world, but it's like its own thing, and it's clearly having a negative effect on Kari. And she and TK have to go through a lot of shit in this episode. And yeah, it's a strange one, isn't it? On its own, I think it's a very creepy, disturbing episode. But then it ends on that cliffhanger, where maybe you can argue that should make it lose points because of the Dark Ocean not really going anywhere, but on its own, I think this episode still deserves to be an S tier. It's a shame that the Dark Ocean just couldn't get more development, though. I still don't know exactly what the story was for that. I think it was just a situation where maybe there was more planned, or there was just some changes going on in behind the scenes for writing the story of Adventure 2. I don't know. The Samurai of Sincerity. We get introduced to another Digidestined. That's pretty cool. Yeah. We get introduced to another Digidestined. Michael, that was his name, with Seedramon. We reunite with Digitamamon. I wasn't expecting to reunite with that Digimon of all Digimon from Adventure 1. Yeah, it's fine. I think it's a B tier one. Harmless, pretty good. Has some interesting backstory stuff for us. Like, this is where we learn that there's even more Digidestined, and who knows how many more out there. I'm gonna close my window for a sec. It's getting real noisy outside. I don't know how much was picked up on the mic. Big Trouble in... Oh, wait, what one is that one? Oh, I don't... This might piss some people off, but I think we have our first F tier. I don't think anyone really cares for this episode all that much. I personally don't like it. I don't really care for it at all. This is an episode I would say you could skip during a watch of Adventure 2. I don't like this episode. I think this episode is such a nothing episode. I think if there's anything nice I can say about it, there's like one funny moment with Davis and Kari at the end of the episode. I think I like that scene, but there's not much else to say about it. I don't care for this one. 20,000 Digileagues Under the Sea. A Cody focus episode, so by default I want to put it in F tier, but then you remember that good old reliable Joe's in it, so we get Waymon again, and hell, even seeing Mega Seedramon as a villain is pretty cool. So I'll put it in C. Yeah. I think it's fine. I think there's nothing that makes me like say, wow, this is a great episode, but it's perfectly serviceable. It does the job. Ghost of a Chance. I love an. I always love a good episode that focuses on the Adventure 1 cast. Even when I was a kid, this episode made me so happy because it was, not even just because of this stuff with Wizardmon returning and kind of being like a warning for what's going to happen. Even outside of that, it was just a fun episode. It was like the anniversary of the events of the kids defeating Myotismon, I believe, or when they first went to the digital world. It was one of those two, and they had a good reunion. Told the Adventure 2 gang of their stories, and it's really good. It's good stuff. What else? Run Yoli Run. Probably Yoli at her worst. She definitely took things a bit too far in this episode, but I like the episode enough. I'll put it in B. Old Enemy Returns. Is that our dear friend Devimon? I'm pretty sure it is with a title like that. Let's double check. Yeah, yeah, it is. TK's finest moment in the whole franchise, potentially. I wish we got to see more of this side of TK. TK's confrontation with Ken in this episode is perfect. I love it so much. It's so good. As a kid, you probably already enjoy it, but I think you even appreciate it more as you get older when you really think about just how like different TK is. But even though it's with a negative emotions, it's still kind of enlightening. It's kind of good to see this side of TK. I like this. I like the angry side of TK. Again, I wish there was more scenes like it. But yeah, he talks Ken down. He fights Ken. He's winning that fight. He insults him as he leaves to help the others with Chimeramon. That scene alone makes me want to put this episode in S tier. I would say I'm trying to think if there was anything negative for it. I mean, it does kind of suck that Davis just got left in the dust for the episode. Like, that was kind of douchey, but I'll still give it an S tier. TK and Ken's confrontation makes this episode just great. The Darkness Before Dawn. So we're at the beginning of the end for Ken as the Digimon Emperor. I think this one should be an A tier, as well as the Crest of Kindness. Ken gets his own crest, like Adventure 1. He finally realized after all these episodes he made a big oopsie. Turns out the Digimon are actually living creatures that feel pain. Ooh, oopsie daisy. I bet you feel bad about everything you did in these episodes now, Ken. So that's it, and that's pretty much a good chunk of Adventure 2. That's like half of Adventure 2 done. So post Ken being the Digimon Emperor, let's start off with Davis Cries Wolfmon. So this is when we're starting the O2 Digimon reaching their champion forms. I'm not a big fan of this episode. I'm gonna put it in C. I don't think it's like terrible. 1 second. I'll just go respond to a text. Very professional. There we go. Genesis of Evil. What was this one again? Oh, it's Ken's episode. This one's a good one. We learn about Ken's brother. We could learn about basically Ken's backstory, like that we haven't learned already as his time as the Digimon Emperor, or what led to him becoming the Digimon Emperor. We saw how he went in the Dark Ocean and his Digivice changed into the Dark Digivice. That was cool. Yeah, I'll give this one a good S tier. Ken just has great episodes, man. Whenever an episode focuses on Ken, you're in for a good time. Whether he's good or evil. If I had a tail hammer... I'll give it a B. I think the best highlights from this episode is, once again, Ken and Stingmon showing up at the end. Cool stuff, cool stuff. Spirit Needle. This isn't. This is when they're still rebuilding in the digital world, aren't they? Oh yeah, with the water dam and Mimi. I'll give it a C. Perfectly passable. United Restand. B. I don't have much to say on it, but I do. I think it's fine. Fusion Confusion. So DNA Digivolution. Pyodemon's really cool. I do enjoy the fight against the big grey bug. Ken's base is about to blow up. They've got to stop that. And yeah, I'll put this one in A. Oh, I don't like these episodes. The episodes where the characters are in like the big house, I don't like them. I don't think they're F tier. I don't think they should be in F tier. I'm gonna put them in C tier. I would say they have just a little bit of quality to them that makes them enjoyable enough to watch. But yeah, the ultimate anti-hero. Again, what's that one? Ah, it is okay. This one's a good one. So Cody especially is still a little bit iffy on working with Ken, and that is affecting the team. Arukenimon has used her powers to fuse multiple spires together to form Black War Greymon, who obviously wipes the floor with them. Yeah, I'll give it an A. That's a good one. The opposites attract. Not as good as the previous Dark Ocean episode. Like, again, that episode ended on such a big moment, or potential like big threat looming, and then the next episode that focuses on the Dark Ocean doesn't follow up anything from the previous one, really. It's just like, hey, we were here before. But I'll still give it an A. I think on its own it's still good. Kari goes through a lot in this one. I have a lot of sympathy for both Kari and Ken in this episode. And it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Sylphimon's introduced. Pretty cool DNA Digivolution as well. Now, if only I had a hero. This is where we begin an arc that I've never liked in Adventure 2. I don't hate it. Hate is a strong word, but I definitely think it's the weakest part of Adventure 2, and I always dread it during a rewatch. The Destiny Stone stuff. Personally, I don't like it. I don't like it because all these episodes here are basically the same. Black War Greymon's after a Destiny Stone. Arukenimon and Mummymon are interfering or getting involved. The gang is trying to stop Black War Greymon, maybe on their own or maybe with some allies. Oh, and look at that. The episode ends with Black War Greymon destroying another stone and pissing off, and the kids are just like, damn, we'll have to stop him next time. I'll put this one in C. This one in C. I believe this is the one where Black War Greymon at least has a good interaction with Agumon. Is it this one? No, it was... Oh, no. It was If Only I Had a Heart. Okay. The steam with Black War Greymon and Agumon's pretty good. You know, I'll put that in B tier for that one. We'll elevate that to B tier. But that one will stay in C. Destiny and Dao, though. We get Angry TK back. Such an interesting... Well, I've bitched about it so many times. I hate how TK's anger only really affected Cody and just prevented their DNA digivolution from happening sooner. Like, I feel like TK's anger should have been an arc in itself, where he either it could result in Patamon Dark digivolving, or he tries to maybe take charge of the team, having a bit of a conflict with Davis over that, or even without the leadership part involved, he just generally becomes a bit toxic around the rest of the group. He still means well, he's still trying to do the right thing, but TK's anger is getting the better of him, and it's affecting not only him, but it's affecting the rest of the team, and the kids are having their own interactions and reactions to it. Am I asking for too much? Is that too much to ask for TK's anger to actually have an effect on both him and the other characters around him? I don't know. Maybe a good video dedicated to this will be a better way to really get all of my feelings of it out. But I've always had issues with, as I got older, with TK's anger being a thing in 02, and it only really affected Cody. You know, it didn't affect Davis, it didn't affect Patamon, it didn't affect Kari or Matt. Everyone else was just like, oh, TK, like, they're not even reacting to it. And the only outcome to it was it just took longer for this thing, this pothead Digimon to show up. This cauldron. Anyway, Destiny in Doubt is C. Cody Takes a Stand is C. Stone Soup has some comedic moments, so for that I'll put it in B. Kyoto Dragon, I think that's what it says. This is pretty much a good backstory episode. We get some more lore for the universe of adventure in the digital world, with Azulamon interfering and basically saying, hey, Blackwall Greymon, could you not do this anymore? You've done enough damage. Could you just, like, fuck off? I know that's not what he says, but that's basically what he's like. It's like, come on, go find something else to do. Surely there's something better you can do, bitch. I'll put it in C. The recap stuff is good, but if the best part about the episode is just looking back at clips from previous episodes, I feel like that's still kind of a bad thing. Okay, but now we're entering a fun arc of Adventure 2. I love this arc. It's just fun. That's the best way to describe it. It's just fun. We have more scenes with the Adventure 1 gang. We have just generally a more interesting story, and again, just fun. It's enjoyable. A very Digi-Christmas. Lighthearted, good episode. We get a lot of focus on the Adventure 1 gang as well as the O2 gang. It's well balanced. The way it's balanced in this episode, in my opinion, is perfect. It's like, hey, the O2 gang are still our main characters, but the Adventure 1 characters are here too, and we're going to let them have some screen time, some development and growth. Because they are still part of this world, damn it. You know, Digimon Tri could have learned a lot from this one episode on how to handle a main cast of characters and then a secondary cast of characters. Very Digi-Christmas is S tier. The Draymond Power. This one's pretty much set up. I would put this one in A, I think. This pretty much just sets up the story for the next 3 episodes. Our Digimon World Tour arc. Again, just fun. It's just fun. I don't think any Digimon fan can say these are bad episodes. They may not be anyone's favourite. Well, no, some people probably think it's their favourite. But, like, what I'm trying to say is, I don't think there's anyone that could look at these episodes and just go, ugh, these episodes suck. These are great episodes. I'm going to put them all in S. The World Tour arc is just fun, adventurous. Yes, I can't even fathom any other words to describe it. It's just an enjoyable watch. I always look forward to these 3 episodes on a rewatch of Adventure 2. I like the team ups of like the O2 characters and the Adventure 1 characters, and then them meeting the other Digidestined. If there's one thing I would say is a valid complaint, I think it's a shame that not every team got to have like an action sequence, or just to really get to do much. Like, I get there's a lot going on. You got to cram like basically at least 2 to 3 stories in each of these episodes. But yeah, that results in like say like Ken and Izzy, Jesus Christ, Kari and Izzy, for example. They don't really get to do much during when we see them during their part of the World Tour arc. And well, I think that's it. I mean, Davis and Mimi would have been nice if we got to see a bit more action with them as well, I guess. But still, I think you get my point. Overall, though, great episodes, good episodes. Invasion of the Daemon Corps. Everything about this episode I like, except for one part. One part, it's always bugged me. When the Adventure 1 Digimon partners are running out of energy, they can't maintain their ultimate their ultimate Digivolutions. And the explanation is, oh, well, you guys have been in the human world for quite a while now, haven't you? So it's probably because of that. You should probably go back to the digital world to regain your strength. How long have the O2 Digimon been in the real world? Patamon and Gatomon have been in the real world even longer because they're part of the Adventure 1 team as well as O2. Yeah, I'm not buying it, buddy. That's a bullshit excuse to just write him out of the plot so that the O2 Digimon can be the focus. I've never liked it. I never liked it. It always pissed me off. Like, it's one of those silly things where even as a kid I remember watching it and I was like, that doesn't make sense. Why do they have to go? Why aren't the other Digimon low on energy, struggling to maintain their Digivolve forms? And you can't even say, oh, it's because Vmon, Hawkmon, Armadillomon are special. Wormmon wasn't created the same way as Vmon, Armadillomon and Hawkmon were. And what's the excuse for Patamon and Gatomon, huh? They're still in the real world. They're part of the Adventure 1 Digimon group. Gatomon, for Christ's sake, is still maintaining her champion form. I know that's sometimes something people might forget, but Gatomon's a champion level, for Christ's sake. Oh, man. Aside from that, I'll still put this episode in A. It's still good. It's still good. Dark Sun, Dark Spore. So this is where we get the reveal, I think. Was it this episode? I think it was. Yeah, I think this is the episode where we get the reveal of, like, Ken had a Dark Spore inside of him, and that was altering his... it was just changing him, bringing out the worst of him. It kind of ruins it a little bit for Ken's arc as the Digimon Emperor, but it's still fine. For the sake of just, I guess, introducing this gimmick for what they wanted to do with the other children, planting dark spores into them and basically turning all of them into multiple Digimon Emperors and Empresses, it's okay. I believe, yeah, this was all. Oh, you know what? I'll also say this is also good because this is the episode where we really saw the O2 group struggle with the fact that sometimes it's not enough to defeat the Digimon, they've got to kill them. Like, this is, I believe it was this episode where Sylphimon had to kill Lady Devimon, otherwise Lady Devimon was going to hurt Kari, Yoli, and a few other, like, innocent civilians. And then on TK and Cody's side of things, Shokuramon was fighting another version of Devimon. I can't remember what one it was called. And that one was that was a situation where if they didn't stop the Digimon, it would have attacked and hurt people in a hospital. So again, no choice. So that was pretty cool. I'll give props to that one. I think overall, yeah, we'll go away. We'll go away. The Dark Gate, another A, I think. No, you know, I'll give it a B. Because it's kind of like the ending of the whole Dark Ocean storyline, and it's not really satisfying, is it? But the way they still utilize the Dark Ocean within the episode, I kind of like. Ken being able to open a portal, and then the team just sending what's his name, Daemon, just like, fuck off into the Dark Ocean with you. And it's pretty cool stuff. Some good moments with Davis, especially encouraging Ken that he can do this, and all of his past misdeeds as a Digimon Emperor, he's made up for them, or he's still, like, he's making up for it. He's doing okay. Duel of the War Greymon. I'll give it an A. I like the fight. It's a good fight. Blackwall Greymon's Destiny, however, is kind of weak in my opinion. I don't think this one is as good as people may have thought it was when they first watched it, or what I've seen just being said about it. I don't know, Blackwall Greymon kind of did an oopsie. He didn't really think things through, did he? It kind of fucks over the team later on in the story, but even within the episode, it's like, couldn't you have done anything else, buddy? I don't know. I'll give it a B. I need a reminder on that episode as well. Oikawa's shame. We're already at this point. So, yeah, we're endgame. So we learn about Oikawa's backstory. We get a reveal that it's been Myotismon this whole time. Parts of his day still survived the events of Adventure 1's fight. I think this episode is B. The Last Temptation of the Digidestined is A. A Million Points of Light, our season finale, all the Digivolutions, all of the fights, all of the well, except for Magnamon, right? Poor Magnamon. I didn't really talk about Magnamon earlier, did I? I really like Magnamon. Really cool Digimon. I don't know why he didn't appear in these last two episodes. What happened? What happened? Where was he? Come on, Davis. I think for the final episode, I'm trying to not let the ending be the only thing that influenced me, because I don't. Alright, let's get this out of the way. I've never liked the ending of Adventure 2, and the main reason is the time jump. I feel like the basic concept of a time jump being in the ending is fine, and obviously they didn't have future stuff in mind when they did this ending, I'm willing to bet. But it really shot them in the foot, making a huge time jump ending like this, and then creating more stuff within the adventure continuity. If it was up to me, yes, there would have still been a time jump, but it wouldn't have been as much. Our characters would be like, our O2 characters would be the age the Adventure 1 characters were in Adventure 2. The Adventure 1 characters would be aged up by another 5 years or so. Was it 5 years or 3 years? Adventure 2 takes place 3 years after Adventure 1? Was it 3 or was it 5? Whatever it was, another 3 to 5 years pass, right? The O2 gang would obviously get the main focus of screen time. We can get a little bit from the Adventure 1 gang just to see what they're up to. Again, similar to what TK says in the O2 ending, like he does a recap of what all the kids are doing. But we're not talking about them being adults and all having children. And some of the characters having out of nowhere career paths. I'm looking at you, Matt. So yeah, and like the ending would still relatively be the same, but it would still be just focused on our characters instead of time jump so far that we're talking about their kids. So like the Adventure 2 gang would meet up maybe in a familiar classroom, a familiar computer room. They meet Ken in the digital world, and then they go to meet up with Ty and the others who were waiting for him in the digital world as well. So our Adventure 1 and Adventure 2 gang are all together, and then they run off to have another adventure. Just like how we saw Adventure 2's ending end, but with our actual characters. I never liked the ending, I'm sorry. The time jump was just too ridiculous to me. I just didn't like it. Back to the episode though, I feel like I've just run on a good rant there. The episode itself, I don't think all the characters come together. It's a, power of friendship. Oikawa has a very emotional, depressing death, which is a really powerful, good scene there. And the reveal that he could have gotten a Digimon partner as well, just as he died. I'll put it in A. I'll put it in A. I'll put it in A. I'll still put it in A. I don't like the ending, but the episode itself is still overall positive, I would say. And it's not like the ending is completely like... I'm not saying... Yeah, I won't say the ending completely ruins Adventure 2. It's just, if it was up to me, I wouldn't have done it like that. I would have maybe have done a time skip, but the time skip would have been just at most 5 years, and it's still TK talking about the other characters, saying what they're up to, but we're focusing on the characters, and then we still have a similar ending, but again it's with our characters, not them older with their kids. But that's enough running about that. I've gone on long enough. That is another tier list. That is another group of opinions shared by myself, which are totally not wrong, and if you disagree, you are obviously incorrect. Because that's how opinions work, don't you know? But yeah, like I said, I'm not as... I don't like Adventure 2 as much as I love Adventure 1, but I still enjoy Adventure 2 as a whole. I'm still happy to watch it, and I can still enjoy it. It's not like it's like this completely terrible season. It shouldn't have been made. It was a complete mistake. They should have just ended at Adventure 1. No. Adventure 2 does a lot of good stuff. And I do like it still. This episode does suck though. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for that. If I can, we'll see what else I can stream and do for the channels, and yeah, I might happily do this again for Digimon Tamers episodes next on the tier list side of things. I definitely think that'll be interesting. But with all that said and done, there's another tier list, another stream, and another session where I will end it consulting with the Elder Gods, deciding what is next.